Today, I will be analyzing how Donk plays B rotate on Dust 2 CT side. We will look at Donk's positioning, tricks, protocols, and more so you can get a better understanding of how Donk and Team Spirit plays this map. But before I do so, here's a quick word from today's sponsor, Skins Monkey. They are one of the best and easy to use CS2 skins trading site. All you have to do is select your skins you don't like, pick out new skins you do like, and now you have a nicer inventory. Skins Monkey is not just a trading site. You can also buy skins with a 35% deposit bonus using code NART. Click my link below in the description to get a free $5 on your trade. Thanks, Skins Monkey. What is the objective for the B rotator position? First off, you want to secure the B site with your teammate, making sure there's no rushes. You saw Donk look over the wall towards the sky to see if there's any smokes coming his way, which could indicate a fast B play. With nothing going on towards B, Donk is going to come over and pick up mid, where Navi are on eco and Donk has the F4A1S, so he's looking to engage. At the start of the round, Spirit will always usually throw a cross smoke from Shiro in order to protect their players crossing from any oppers/scouters. The B players shouldn't be the ones wasting any utility to cross because of how important it is for them to help delay the BXQ or mid to B. This is a standard round from Donks and Zontix. Donk is from back site, jiggle peeking, has utility out, while Zontix is completely hiding inside that corner. Zontix is in a good position because that position hardly gets checked, and then Donk was playing backside, jump spotting, and baiting for him. Donk's other objective is to watch mid, but especially if the A rotator is not towards CT or they don't have Shiro towards mid. Navi throw the B lurk smoke. Zontix is playing to the right of the smoke, so Donk just has to be careful to the left if the T's try to come out. Donk drops his utility to Zontix, who's going to help him anchor B easier, and he's going to rotate out because Navi took long A control, and usually that's done with 3 to 4 players with 1 T lurking around the mid to lower tunnel area. This is the same CT set from the previous clip, but this time around they're going to use it against Vitality with Donk back sight. He's going to be jump spotting, throws a smoke late round, and Zontix is towards the cubby area. Smoke and tunnels this late is very strong, just like you would on Inferno B entrance, forcing the T's to possibly go through it. If you aren't crossing with the mid smoke, you're getting that early info if any T's are rushing down Sui to mid or catwalk, and relaying that to your teammates, especially if you are not staying to watch cat. You don't want your teammates to not know if the T's could potentially be in their faces already. Over towards the B site, it's usually Zontix throwing the anti-rush Molotov. Here Donk is going to follow up with a back right tunnels Molotov to clear that out, while him and Zontix are in a double peek setup. You see on the radar that Navi took long A control with 4 players, and they also have 1 player push up lower tunnels, so that gives the ability for Donk to go ahead and rotate out. Even if Spirit didn't have anybody lower tunnels, Donk is going to still rotate out to at least towards the CT mid side. As you saw earlier on the radar, there's not going to be much threat towards B as Navi were in a 4-1. Let me show you a standard round from Spirit. First off, the 2 players cross with the cover of the Shiro smoke, and then you see Zontix Molotoving off tunnel, and they're going to double peek the clear tunnel. Donk is going to position himself inside this corner while Zontix is playing back sight. The B players here don't have to worry about mid, as we see on the radar Shiro picks it up, however he falls. A very common protocol by Team Spirit is that they're going to actually smoke off tunnels here. This is done mid to late round, and you'll see that they gamble stack outside of B. Donk is going to push up close to the wall while Zontix is going to play on top of the boxes behind him. The gamble outside of B did not work, as Vitality are going to execute B right after that tunnel smoke fades. I showed the double tunnel peek earlier, and now we're going to see the same play here, except they're going to go into the setup where 1 player is crouched in front, the other player is going to peek from the platform. This is a very common tactic ran by G2, Vitality, and many other pro teams. Donk Molotovs off the right side, which forces Electronic to smoke it out, and then he's going to fall back safely. If you're running this setup, just be aware that you should have a teammate watching your mid. Another beneficial thing to this setup is that it allows you to delay your tunnel smoke, which we see Zontix throws the first smoke around 1 minute, and then they're going to go into this gamble stack outside. If the T's do take long A control at the start, what you can do with your B teammate is to push tunnels after the Molotov ends. Just be careful when doing this, you could be met with 1 T lurker around this position. The double upper dark push is very common too if you are down a player and need some info. Similar situation here, VP go for early long A control. So you can see on the radar, they go ahead and put 4 to 5 players to do so. And Donk and his teammate are going to push through mid door. They're going to clear lower tunnel to see if there's a 1 lurker player here. They don't see anybody. Donk's going to come back towards mid, where he's going to hold this off angle ramp, and he lands and hits an insane 3K spray transfer. In this round versus G2, Donk is going to be in charge of watching mid. You look on the radar, Spirit have 2 players towards short, 1 towards long. Zontic smoked tunnel early on, which gave Donk the ability to peek window without having to worry about anyone from tunnels, and you see that both of them are going to clear that right side. And Donk gives Zontic his smoke so he could jiggle peek towards tunnel, and here Donk is safely watching mid to B by jiggle peeking and jump spotting the door. Zontex is forced to use his smoke as Hunter is applying pressure. Donk is going to take care of him, and Spirit know that Hunter is a B lurker. That's why you saw after getting that first frag, Donk was going to rotate out, but then you saw that he sees the mid to B smoke and then he spots some G2 players, so they're going to go into this setup here. Zontex inside car is watching the door as well as window side, and Donk was going to be watching towards the tunnel side. Instead, he's just going to come up and take the fight against these eco players. When you're spotting mid to B, just because the T's throw the mid to B smoke does not mean that they are committing. So just be careful and note that when the T's throw that smoke could be used as a fake to bait out utility as well as rotations. It's when you see the T's that they're going to be committing to the mid to B most likely. In the situation that the T's are committing to the mid to B, then Donk, if he still has a smoke, would smoke off B door. In this situation, he doesn't spot anybody, and instead he is going to throw his smoke for B tunnels. Vitaly worked this out really well because they delay the mid to B and they're actually going to commit to it. Donk is going to get a flash off the wall, however the flash was too late. B is fine with Zontic, so Donk's actually going to leave him by himself to anchor while he's going to come back and help out Shiro towards mid. Gets the first frag into Ima here, and then he is actually going to continue to peek. They know that Na'Vi are on like a half buy here. After that frag on Ima, he saw 2 more Na'Vi players, so he's just going to hold this position continuously, moving back between A and D, left and right like this. By moving so much, this makes Donk a harder target to hit. Let's look at Ima's POV. When Donk actually swings, he likes to swing wide, and that forces Ima's crosshair to be off target by a lot. Spirit are going to be playing 3B at the start of the round with Shiro going over with an op. Donk's going to pick up mid at the start. You can see he's jiggle peeking like this, and he's not actively peeking down towards mid because the opponents have an op. Donk rotates very easily, which we see off one door smoke here. Na'Vi and Spirit know each other very well after playing so many times. It was a fake to pull rotation off mid, but Donk pushes through the smoke and should have been punished, but Bit whiffs his shots. Double opping is very strong on the CT side of Dust 2, with Donk picking up towards B and then Shiro will be on the opposite side. When you're opping mid, make sure you have an HE nade because most likely not, the T's are going to smoke off door or Xbox, which then you can go ahead and break open the smoke. Donk doesn't see anybody, and the mid smoke that Vitaly threw is a bad one, so he can go ahead and go towards the back and jump spot, which he does here, taking out Zaiwu. We're going to move on to the next clip here because Vitality are out long and you see Donk rotate over. Team Spirit have an aggro mid play with Donk and Shiro, so they're both going to push up mid here. Shiro's going to watch Sui, while Donk is going to hold this off angle on top of the ledge, standing behind that pillar. Even holding this angle and playing this position, Donk is still jiggling and moving left and right. Here's an early aggro play you can make as a B player by pushing through mid doors and going lower tunnels and then nading the upper dark tunnels, then falling back afterwards. Usually this play is done with the cover of the smoke. In this round, we're going to see Chopper and Donk push through mid door, and Vitality are on eco. Donk is going to go into lower, and then Chopper is going to actually push and peek towards mid. Again, we're witnessing the same type of mechanics where Donk is continuously moving left and right. Chopper gets taken out, so Donk does have to take cover behind this left wall, gets flash mid from his teammates, peeks. Again, he's going to take these duels against these eco players. He gets himself a nice 3k. Donk is going to rush into lower tunnels, and he's going to do this with an op. This is a very common play a lot of pro players do, which is holding this position here. After they get the frag, they're going to fall back. If you are making this play, you need to have somebody watching your mid for you. Donk is going to push through mid door at the start of the round through lower tunnel. This is from a Faceit pug, and you can see that he's on top of the box, jiggling left and right, gets the first frag, then he's going to fall back safely out the door. Following the pistol loss, Spirit are going to force buy, and you see Zontex and Donk push into lower, but they're not going to commit towards upper. They're both going to fall back here, which then both of them get locked out of the sight by the smoke, and Donk actually tries to push window. Donk is not just stuck towards the B and mid area. When he has a long A spawn, Team Spirit are going to use him to contest long. Long A control is important for both sides. By fighting long A early on, This gets Donk in these early engagements and duels that he's favorable in. Moving Donk around like this makes him very unpredictable. His opponents won't be able to avoid Donk if they just go towards A because he plays A as well. It's very smart for Team Spirit to move Donk around like this as if he was an opper. With Donk, you don't have to worry about him not knowing how to play a certain position on this map because in his Face It pugs, he is everywhere. He legit knows how to play all 5 positions on this map. When watching his pugs, he would play long A, mid, B rotate. Even with the op, if Donk has the best long A spawn, he is going to go towards A. Donk's holding long still with an op, and you're going to see Vitality come out short, and he's going to come help out, but you see that there is a lurker there, and he is going to forget about that lurker where he's going to get punished for. Just to show you how active Donk is on the CT side and his unpredictability of his positions, he took the long A spawn, gets control of it, then once this is under control, he's going to fall back, then he's going to go all the way towards short here where he's going to hold on top of the ledge. Shiro has a flash for him, but he gets Molotov out. Now he is going to afterwards nade, he's going to stop the mid to B. By going through the mid to B smoke while his teammates take first contact, he's able to sneak through and get a multi-frag on these last 2 players here. Besides jiggling a lot when holding positions, Donk's other favorite move he uses is the Donk slide, created by Maui Snake, where Donk will crouch then moves in the opposite direction, and this throws the enemy's crosshair placement by a lot as the opponents will be aiming head level when Donk first appears standing, then he crouches, and on top of that moves in the opposite direction when crouch, which is the curveball here, making him unhittable. So that's how Donk plays B Rotator on Dust 2. Donk doesn't get much action towards his position respectfully as he is the best player in the world and teams like to avoid him, so you saw how Team Spirit allows Donk to be towards A when he has the best spawn to throw a wrench in the loop. Who do you want me to analyze next? What map? What position? Write it down below in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe as I will be putting out more types of guides like this. And I'll see you on the next one.